So let's draw some figures. So let's draw a pair of figures which are on the same base. So let's first look at figures on the same base. Figures on same base. Yeah. So let's draw this. So this is a figure. Any figure. So this is one figure. Let's say this is one figure, and this is the base. This line, this segment AB is the base of this figure. And using the same base, we can draw. Let's draw another figure. Yeah. So these are. So this let's call this figure A, and we have used A already. So let's call this figure P, and let's call this figure Q. So P and Q have the same base. So P and Q have the same base. Yeah. Here's another example for you. So let's draw the base first, and let's draw a simple rectangle looking figure. Call the base AB, and on the same base, on this side also we can draw a figure. Yeah, on this side. So these two figures, this figure, let's say X, and this figure Y, both of them have the same base. So like this we can draw. So any two figures can potentially share the same base. So it does not matter how they may be completely different figures, or they may be the same, but they can share same base, right? So that's what we mean when we say figures are on the same base. Now just add the next part of the statement, between the same parallel lines. So we'll draw figures which are on the same base and between the same parallel lines. So here's the first example. So let's first draw something which looks like a rectangle. Yeah. So let's assume this is a rectangle, and let's call the base T and S. Yeah, let's call this line segment TS, and assume that this dotted line is parallel to the segment TS. Yeah, and we draw a parallelogram with base TS and having the same, and between the same parallels. Yeah. So okay, let me use a different color. So this parallelogram is on the same base TS, and is between these two parallel dotted lines. So let's call this line 1, and let's call this line 2. So this parallelogram P, which is this whole figure P, and this rectangle, let's call this rectangle R. Yeah, let's call this rectangle R. So P and R have the same base and are between the same two parallel lines. So just to sort of elaborate this point a little more, we can actually have figures which will satisfy the statement and look something like this. Yeah. So let us draw a square. So in this square, let's call this segments B, C, and D. We can actually take any two sides. So let's say that side AB is the base, and CD is, if you extend this segment CD, then we get the two parallel lines. So it is not necessary that the parallel lines will always be horizontal. Parallel lines can actually be vertical here, or they can be at an angle. And on this base, let us draw a triangle. Yeah. So triangle, and let's call this triangle T, and this square as S. So T and S share the same base and are between the same two parallel lines.